What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. We're going to be taking a look at a knife from the CDC guys tonight. Before we get too far into that, I want to go ahead and say thank you to anybody who's already liked and subscribed to our channel. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below, and then you can hit the little logo in the corner. That'll let you know when we post new content. We're going to continue to make it. We'd love for you to see it. You can also head over to Instagram and like us at Work Knife Balance 939. It's a great way to communicate with us. Let us know what you want to see, and then we'll send you back one of those sweet stickers if you send us a knife for review. It's a great way to let us know all that stuff, but then it's also a great way for us to connect with you. So without further ado, let's dive into this. Before we get too far though, I love the packaging. It's clean, it's nice, it looks good, it's quality. So it gives me a lot of hopes. This is the second CDC knife that we'll be able to look at, and the first one I really liked. So I'm excited to dive into this one. Full disclosure, I did open it up and look at it the other day on a live actually with the CDC guys. I had it in here and thought that I had a knife from them, so I went ahead and opened it up and took a look at it. And I carried it today, and I absolutely love this knife. So this is pretty freaking fantastic, I will say. I really didn't do anything with it, didn't cut anything or do anything like that. I just wanted to see what it would feel like in pocket. This is the CDC Chicago knife. Chicago. We had the Salem in here a while ago, and I will say they're very similar. I wish I had the Salem side by side. Salem's a little bit shorter and a little bit more stout, I would say, I think, in the handle. But they have similar blade profiles. They've got kind of a drop point spear tip hybrid to them as well, but the way that they've done their blades are beautiful. They're so nice. They look so good. It's a really nice profile. It's one thing I really like about these knives as well. So before we get too far into this though, let's go ahead and open it up. We'll do some measurements, and then we'll do some side-by-side comparisons, and then we'll dive into the knife a little bit further. Tip to tail, we're looking at 8 inches on the dot almost right there. So yeah, blade length looking at about 3.5, cutting edge just under at about 3.3. That cutting edge there. So you do have a little bit of kind of a little half moon choil right in there to choke up on. I don't necessarily recommend it too much because there's not much to stop you from getting it on that blade, but you can if you need to choke up into that choil. Just probably not my first choice. We're sitting on S35 steel. Oh, I said we'd do side-by-side comparisons. I'm skipping right over everything. Why don't y'all stop me? Here we go. Ontario Rat 1 up top, and the Rat 2 down below. So really close in comparison to that Rat 1 right there. I believe the Rat 1 has a little bit more on the tip and tail than the Chicago, but they are really close. And then that Rat 2 is obviously smaller. Go ahead and get the Spyderco knives out here as well. Go ahead and do the Spyderco Para 2 up top, and the Spyderco Para 3 down below. 4 very common knives that you all probably have in your collections, so you can kind of see what this one would look like if you went ahead and picked one of these up. I don't know if these are still available. I didn't check their website or anything before, but we will go ahead and post links to their website if they are. Even if they're not, we'll go ahead and post a link to their website down below so you can check out some of the other stuff from CDC as well. They do have a fantastic patch collection, and that's actually how the CDC guys got started. They got started with a monthly patch subscription club that you could subscribe and get different premium patches from them, and then after doing patches for a while they decided to start doing knives. I believe the first knife they did was the Hansen, and then they upgraded to a couple others. Now they've got a couple folders out there and a couple fixed blades as well, and then some pre-orders that you can get something new that they're coming out with as well. So we'll go ahead and put that link, and you can check out their website and a bunch of other stuff. Diving into this knife a little bit more, it is going to be a titanium frame lock knife with S35 VN steel. We can see that on the back right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. It's pretty tiny, but S35 VN steel right there. And then the titanium frame lock. You can see the titanium on the lock side. On the show side, you've got G10 scales, but there is a titanium liner through there as well. The G10 scales tout the sprinkles for the CDC donut community, crispy donut community. And that's kind of what they're known for. A lot of their knives are going to have that Desert Warrior theme without the Desert Warrior name, because I believe that is something by another company that they take out there. So this is going to be the CDC Sprinkles that you can get, and it's actually pretty fun. I personally was not a big Sprinkles fan, but I really like these knives, and it's kind of made me a Sprinkles fan. As far as the knife goes itself, without the flair of the Sprinkles, ergos are fantastic. We've had a couple other knives in on the channel recently. You can't go wrong with a handle like this. The flat back and a good area to index your pointer finger, so it feels fantastic in hand. Both front and reverse grip feel really good. No hot spots. The titanium milled clip is really nice and well done. The one thing I wish I would see with more titanium milled clips, not just this one but the other, is not that generic just drop down clip. I want something that's going to be a little bit nicer, because clips like this can be a little bit challenging getting in and out of my pocket. I did it perfectly fine. I wore a pair of jeans and there's nothing really to worry about, but I would like, and I think it would be cool if more companies started doing wire clip attachments, so made the titanium clip fit like a Lynch clip style. I know it's tricky. There's a couple companies that are out there doing it. Devo just did it with their new Stout V2 that's coming out, and Kunwu has done it with a couple of their knives. You can do a wire clip or a titanium, and it's really cool because you can have the titanium people want, but wire clips are so simple to get in and out of your pocket. I love them because of that, and that's just a personal preference. They did really fantastic jimping on the blade. You've got this squared jimping on the top of the spine there. They've got a nice place up front for any sort of fine work and a pinch grip that you're going to hold in there. And then a spot on the back so your thumb rests perfectly fine. I like the style of the square jimping. I like the feel of the back jimping back here. So this is just a personal preference. It works perfectly fine, and I love the way it's there. The feel of this jimping back here is really nice because I can hold it in hand right here and not have to worry about anything, and I'm actually pressing pretty hard on both the jimping up top and back here, and I don't feel any hot spots or anything like that. So well done on that. Now let's get to my absolute favorite part of this knife, the blade. This is probably one of the most beautiful blades I like. I am a absolute sucker for sheep's foots and Wharncliffes, but this like drop point spear tip conversion weird look is absolutely killer. I love the compound grind that they did on the edge here. I love the way this swells out. This is a very beautiful looking blade, and this is what makes me want to get this knife more than anything, is that blade right there. It is an absolute stellar design, really well done. It looks beautiful. It is very functional in how you can operate it and everything. It's a good looking blade, and I really like that. You got thumb studs you can reverse flick, and you can thumb flick that thumb stud out there. You also have a flipper tab on the back. You can fail it, but you have to kind of purposely try and fail it. So I'm softly pushing, and I'm softly pushing with my finger over to the edge like this to fail. And there you see even trying to fail it, sometimes it does. So the detent is fantastic. It seems like the detent is tuned a little bit more for that thumb stud than it is the flipper tab, but there's nothing wrong with it. And then just little shakes, you can see it drops all the way in if you pull your finger back. But if you have your thumb there, it just little shakes comes in. So very well done on the action there. Centered perfectly as well. So that's a really nice thing to look at. I don't know who the OEM was for this knife. I know they've looked at a couple companies and they've done some stuff with a couple people. So I'm not sure who the OEM is on this one right here. But whoever it is, it was a very well made and put together knife. And kudos to them for finding a solid company to work with. One thing I would recommend, and I said this on the Salem as well, change your pivot. Make a donut out of that pivot. It's a circle. It's perfect. Just put a donut right there. That would be perfect. It would look so cool, in my opinion, because you are the crispy donut community. Don't just have a plain Jane circle. Make it a donut. Have a donut there. That'd be awesome. And then it kind of goes with the whole theme as well. If you don't change it, it looks good too. I just think a donut would be pretty sweet. You do have a modular system to the lanyard hole, and so I was talking with the CDC guys the other day on a live, and I was talking about our knife, the Rango, which is gonna hit Kickstarter here soon. And they asked if I had a lanyard hole. I said no, and they said check out what we did, and they were showing me what they did with their knives, and I really like this design. It doesn't mess with any of the ergos because you still have that spacer that comes along the back right here, and it feels good in hand, both open and closed, so you still have the good feel, but it opens up the edges so you can put a lanyard if that's what you like. So I'm not a big lanyard guy myself, but it's good to have that there because I know there are people who are lanyards. And then you have the little titanium back spacer part through here as well. I don't have much else to say about this knife. I will be checking their website to see how much this is and most likely picking one of these up for myself because these are absolutely bangers. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they have else in store, and I know they've got a couple collaborations out there. So CDC community, check them out. They've got some really good stuff that they're putting out there. And they have their own YouTube channel. I forgot to mention that. They do have their own YouTube channel, so you can check them out. I'm pretty sure they go live daily. You can check them out almost every day. There's a couple of them, a couple of the guys in their group that are hitting up there, Drew and Luke primarily, and then you got Zach who does a lot of their designs as well. So you can check them out every day pretty much, going live at different times throughout the day, and then they're really active in the community on other lives and other videos. So go ahead and check them out. I will go ahead and post their link down below to their website so you can see their stuff. But until next time, TTFN.